Magic After Dark, The Quiet Storm, KG Smooth. Man, he loves Houston. He's here a lot, and now he is inside The Quiet Storm for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Love King, Raheem DeVaughn. What's going on,
Long
G?
overdue, man. Thank you for having me.
Man, thanks for being here, man. All about love. I mean, you're the Love King.
Hey, man.
The album, Decade of a Love King, out right now. Incredible material, bro, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Well, how does it feel?
It's good, man.
10 years.
This consistency is, it's actually like 14. I'm on my second decade now. It's just a testament to staying power, being consistent, and I'm in a position to be able to do something that I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't complain. I can't ask for more right now.
What do you think about where R&B is going now? I mean, because we went through some patches, I think, since from like 2012. It was that whole, dance techno-ish, and then it became trap and B, and we still kind of in that mode. But it's I feel that the pendulum is swinging back to instrumentation when it comes to production and lyrical content.
Yeah, for me, I'm a lyrical guy. I don't care whether I can sing over a trap beat, jazz beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Acapella, it don't really matter to me. I really consider myself one of the few that is quote unquote a genreless artist. You know what I mean? And that's how I prefer to be referred to. You know what I mean? If they were gonna give me any title, but I think that music is in a great place. I think there's a lot of great music out there. I think the biggest pitfall or challenge is that there's so much great music, and we live in this microwave world, and the outsourcing of it, and people's attention span
is so short.
It's so short that things sometimes, we live in an age now where you can have a great body of workout, and somebody can be a diehard fan of yours and not even know it's out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's really kind of like connecting the dots and figuring that out. And that's I won't say that that's always been an issue for me. You know what I mean? But I think that definitely I just did a new deal and got new partners and new strategic planning and stuff like that. So I don't foresee moving forward me having problems that I had before. You know what I mean? I think that my biggest battle with major record companies and distributors in the past has been that they don't feel that not only my music but black music is worth spending money on in certain areas to make it known where it's at.
And they take it.
Yeah. So I had to take it to the it's not your quote unquote your radio guys' fault or your marketing promotion team's fault necessarily. It's like when you're dealing with these companies, they pick and choose what they want to saturate the market with. You know what I'm saying? And as a lover of all different types of music, trap, conscious, whatever, you know what I mean? I think that it's tainted the balance in the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's oversaturated. I feel as if, to go back to a point that you had made, they don't give us enough time to even enjoy what was just released before someone or something else major comes out. And I'm like,
well, I think another issue you have is like it's a lot of mini me's running around. Like you got in the culture, so you have like you have all these, and you have other people trying to sound like other people and emulate and do different things. You know what I mean? And it's like to duplicate something is probably greatest form of flattery. You know what I mean? But I remember growing up and seeing a time in an era where we had words like, I was East Coast up north guy. I was born in Jersey, although I grew up in the DC area, and it was like we had that period where biting wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. Fly to sound like anybody else. You know what I mean? And I think I want to say somewhere in the 90s it became cool to like duplicate and just want to be like the next person. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of people running around
trying to be
something or being else. Something that they not.
Instead of being themselves.
And when you talk about R&B culture, for a lot of my peers, you got a lot of them that, there's black men that don't want to grow up. They don't want to grow up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to acknowledge the fact. And that's the one thing, we all run out of time. So we all got to grow. You know what I mean? I think for me, it's been easy because I was so young in the game. I was put in this very adult
content out.
I was put in this very adult lane. You know what I'm saying? The most adult lane you could be put in, called urban AC. You know what I mean? So I had to grow into that. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know,
damn, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, you gotta think about it like
Ever
that.
Since
I never really had a real solid shot at like urban radio. They took my music and just put it right in there. Just put me in this box, and wanted to immediately put me in this box. You know what I'm saying? So,
how did that make you feel back then? Was that frustrating?
I won't say frustrating, because at that time, you know, being young, being in the game, being on Jive Records, one of the biggest label at the time, you know, they had the biggest R&B
roster
out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't support that dude, so I don't even want to say his name. But you know, but you talk about Usher, Outkast, Brit on the pop side, Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, like that was like the label to be on, like UGK, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Pimp C, like KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest. So everything I grew up on and I love, or either grew up on or at E40, like Too Short. Like, you know what I'm saying? At that time, you know, I did my first deal in 2002. So it was like, yo, after every other label, you know, said no and turned me away or declined to do business with me, this one did. And they were excited about it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was some internal things because some other people were going through some issues on the label that I knew that it was like, yo, this kid could be the next or whatever. But I always knew what I was. So I never, like, you know, when people came through the door and said, hey, well, you know, we want to send you, you know, I probably was one of the only few artists, if not the only one, that refused to go to Chicago to record. You know what I'm saying?
So did they make you use
I wouldn't say
sample?
that. No, you talking about in terms of like when he jumped on the record, on a remix, and like I didn't sanction that. That was like
that was some label stuff.
Really, I wouldn't even say it was some label stuff. Really, it's like I'm the first singer and R&B singer to make mixtapes. Right? That's what really, that's what forced the label to put my music out. You know, so I would take other people's beats, flip it, yep. Whip and dip it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, you one of the granddaddies of this.
Yeah, create this body of work. You know what I mean? This was before like it was even cool to upload it, and you know what I mean. This was as a Dat Pips and live mixtapes were developing.
Right, but we still had a tangible CD.
Yeah, but I was so hands on and like hands to hand. I was like hand to hand in the street that like I wasn't really paying attention to the phenomenon of like I was a late bloomer to the internet to be you know what I'm saying, frankly honest with you. You know what I mean? So but that allowed me to kind of like always keep a pulse on like what was happening sonically and these different things, you know what I mean? So when he jumped on that record, the Customer remix, that was an attempt to do, that was basically like jacking my beat, which was something that you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'll say the rest for the book or the movie, but it's like, but yeah, it's like, you know, again, man, just to get, you know, to think about my journey over the last 14 years, it's, you know, it's a blessing, man. You know, I've accomplished a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the last 14 years, like it's just, you know, having, you know, from being a musician to now becoming a full-time humanitarian. It's great, man.
Moonlighted in some radio.
Yeah, but I did radio. I was one of you know, was doing podcasts or internet radio before it was like
the popular thing.
Yeah, it was a popular thing to do. I mean, everybody that came to my city, like I remember breaking, you know, Kendrick Lamar, Miguel. Like I sat down with everybody, Spike Lee, you name it, across the board. People would come in and perform. I mean, it was like one weekend I'd have Boney James, the next weekend I'd have T.I. Like it was crazy. Like I look back on the things that I've accomplished, and it was kind of like really way before my time. You know what I mean? And now that I've been able to implement like discipline in certain areas in my personal life and just make certain changes, it's allowed me to flourish in a business sense, you know what I mean? And for the next things that that's meant for me to embark on. You know, I have an artist that I just signed, Brendalyn McKinney. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brendalyn. We've been getting it in. I flew in a couple days early. We've been recording. You know, so you can expect some new art from her soon. And I'm into really investing my time into the culture. I don't want to just be known as the guy who made great music, and I want to affect the culture. You know what I mean?
You contribute a lot.
And invest in the artists, and you know, I wake up every day trying to figure out how to change somebody's life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And hence your foundation. That's what that's what I was going to go into. You contribute a lot. You being a humanitarian and a philanthropist. We've done some events together here in Houston with your foundation, and I remember that luncheon that we had where you honored all of those women who have been abused domestically.
Oh man, bring tears to your eyes.
Oh,
like
my
some of the
gosh.
stuff that I've seen and encountered. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
Babies I've held. You know what I mean? Like it's we take a lot for those who are in a position of power or have, you know, are blessed. Or we take a lot for granted. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So I just never want to take that, you know, take the position that I'm in for granted. You know what I mean? Because it's a blessing, and everybody, I mean, just to be here is a blessing, but you know, some people's lives are a lot different than mine. You know what I mean? And that's something.
And they've been through a lot.
That's something that these new millennials don't understand. A lot of times, I try to, you know, beat that into not beat them physically, but beat into their head verbally, like my boys, my kids, and letting them know, like, hey man, it's a real world out there. Enjoy being a kid.
Yeah, well, you got it, because I'm telling you, when you get young, I mean, when you get older, you ain't gonna want that. What were you? Well, I don't even know if you even watched the thing, but you know, with them women, what they went through with old boy. Did you watch the doc?
I did watch the doc. It's like 1 degree separation for me.
Shut up.
Like, you know what I mean, being on that label, and like, you know, so a lot of people knew. You know what I mean?
It was, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm very much that same machine in the studio, so I get it. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you know, it's a lot of moving pieces to that, man. He ain't the only one guilty. You know what I mean? Me as a parent, there's no way, there's no dollar you could give me. There's no check you could write me for violating my child, male or female. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no check you could give me, you know, to take some hush money. Like, you know what I mean? And so any parent that took money on behalf of their kids, they, you know what I'm saying, they settled out of court, you just as much as you just as much of a monster. Because you created it, you helped in outsourcing and being an enabler. You know what I'm saying? To clearly somebody who is sick and has a problem. You know what I mean? And it's only 3 ways to deal with somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? It's only 3 ways. Either they gonna voluntarily get help, you're gonna lock them away, where they can't, you know what I'm saying, participate in that activity, or you're
gonna take them out,
or you gonna do away with, you're gonna take them out. Like, that's the only type of way you can deal with a situation like that. You know what I mean?
And psychologically, it's so deep that I don't even know at this age if it'll do some help, because, you know, everything has a point of origin. And so when I learned that, you know, man, you were touched by a male and a female, you all the way messed up.
Oh yeah.
In the brain, and don't.
Hey, but look, bro, you talking to somebody that's been molested by a male and a female, and I ain't out here like, so so at the end of the day, you got to make a conscious decision as a man and as a humanitarian, and as somebody like you got to be able to take that hurt and that pain and associate it, and say, like, I never want to put that. I never want to put the next human being in that situation ever. Right. I don't want nobody else to feel that pain I felt. You know, matter of fact, what can I do, or what song can I write, or what movement can I start, so that nobody else has to feel that way?
But that's the difference between you and whoever else, is because you dealt with it. You dealt with it head on, saying that I don't want this hurt, this bitterness, this pain. So when you was man enough to do that.
What I'm saying is as simple as this: when you come of age, it's a conscious decision. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like we just talked about that, the gift of decision and free will. From the time you get up every day in the morning, you can decide what you want to do with your life. You can decide, you know what? I'm not going to do Quiet Storm tonight. I'm not going to even get out of the bed, brush my teeth. I'm not going to eat nothing today. You know what? Today I'm just going to do veggies and, you know what I mean? I'm going to work out today. I'm not going to work out. That's the gift of decision and free will. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of times we are our biggest enemy, and the people that are directly around us are either going to be your biggest support group, or they're going to be your biggest enablers. But at what point are you going to, whatever you got going on in your life, bro? I've been through some things. I made some personal changes in my life that I know that last year this time, if I'm moving a certain way, I wouldn't even have the blessings I'm having right now. You see what I'm saying? So, but it starts with accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable. Man. You know what I mean? Or when you know what I'm saying? You gotta hold yourself.
Come on, Love King,
accountable.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we done got deep up in this thing. See, this is why I've messes with you, right? You keep it all the way 100. Let me switch gears real quick. I always I like to play this game. Well, it's not really a game. You just gotta reach into your musical arsenal. Your 5 faves, 5 of your favorite R&B slow jams. It could be your songs. It could be they could be whatever. 5 and you know, tell me why that song, what it means to you, or if it brings up a certain memory or anything. So let's get it. Give me one, and they don't have to be in no particular order. I just want 5 songs.
I'll say Smokey Robinson, Quiet Storm.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, not to be cliche, but it's just that's just what I grew up in my city. The Quiet Storm. I don't know if they say he's the originator. I don't know.
Well, actually, who came up with that
was it Melvin
format?
Lindsay?
No, it was Kathy Hughes.
Okay, so boom. And then boom. So I grew up, and that might have been her station at the time. So I don't know. Well, she might have been, maybe she was running
DMV
that
area.
Yeah,
that was
because I grew up with Melvin Lindsay. Like I just remember Melvin Lindsay, the Quiet Storm. That's what I grew up on. You know what I mean? So that just always kind of left an indent on my brain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just that. Oh man, you know what I mean? So I'll take that one.
Okay.
I'll take Rick James and Tina Marie, Fire and Desire.
Ooh. It's one of the greatest duets to me.
Yeah, that's why I had to, you know what I mean? I'll take Sade, Cherish the Day.
Cherish the Day.
This is getting complicated because that's I only got 2 more picks.
That song, now what is it about Cherish the Day? That sounds special.
It's just Sade, man. Like it's Sade for one, and it's just the vibe. It's the texture, the record. She was way before her time. Oh yeah. In terms of arrangement and spacing and leaving so much space on the track and just you know what I'm saying? It's just an ambient. It was mood. It was mood music before it was called mood music.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Sade, we could say she's like mood music before mood music. You know what I mean?
No doubt. She was definitely a vibe back then.
I would have to say the entire Marvin Gaye album, I Want You meets Here My Dear. So those joints are like it's a tie. So with Marvin, you gotta just those 2 albums, just gotta let that sink in. I can't even pick one song. So
okay,
we're gonna say if I could have like a double CD
for sure,
or a never ending song where it's like the whole Marvin Gaye I Want You album and then followed by Hear My Dear. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got that.
And then I'd have to go with Prince, like anything off of the Purple Rain album. You know what I mean? Beautiful. I mean, he has a huge vast catalog. You know what I mean? But But I mean, it's Prince, man. You know, when you see certain people, you say certain names, you can't just pick one song. You just gotta say their name.
Yeah,
Prince,
no doubt.
Prince Roger Nelson.
Raheem DeVaughn, Inside the Quiet Storm. Love this dude, musical genius, one of the greatest male vocalists in my opinion. I always wanted to know who were some of your vocal teachers growing up. Like, who did you listen to and try to, not necessarily
like
vocally
emulate,
mimic, but
I'll
just
tell you, I'll tell you,
try to run like, oh man,
I'll tell you, I'll tell you my agree. I mean, one thing about the formula, I don't mind people like it's be a time, man. You can't come in the CD, you can't come in the studio, or I'd be like, I'm on the live, or people don't want to show nothing. They don't want to show the process.
Yeah.
If they can't show you the process, they can't really show you the process. Then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot more moving pieces to it than you know.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. I mean, I'm two sprinkles of Prince with a dab of Marvin, and you know what I'm saying, and then you know, a chaser of Tupac.
What would you call that drink?
Because you got to remember, there's a whole socially conscious side to me.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
No
With records like Bulletproof and and you know, and the group I'm in, the Crossroads, and just, you know, I'm very much conscious and you know, I believe in, you know, I live woke, you know what I mean? So like, you know, those were probably some of my, those definitely, like Bob Marley, another huge influence. You know, these are things I grew up to. Bob Marley, Earth, Wind and Fire, Marvin, you know, Prince. I was listening to stuff I shouldn't have been listening to. Like, who's supposed to be listening? Sneaking to listen to Prince.
Man. Sneaking and listening to Luke records, bro. Luke albums.
But then on the flip side, but then on the flip side, like, you know, NWA, Public Enemy, you know, I think two of the most iconic groups for two different reasons, but also very similar reasons. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
on the conscious,
like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like on one end of the spectrum, they both were pro-black in a sense, right? But on the flip side, though, NWA, one might argue that NWA was used to neutralize Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying?
But they really was saying the same thing, just in a different way.
At the height of the consciousness and the wokeness of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not talking about I'm not talking about the disrespect to the women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm talking about in terms of like
dealing with the police, you know, social,
like, you know what
social
I mean?
issues.
But at the height of that, somebody figured out a way to make these, like, to take these things with, like, you know what I mean? Because you know, when Cube left the group, he was with, you know what I'm saying? That was that whole camp. You know what I'm saying? Public Enemy, Chuck D, and you know what I mean? Right. And that was like, you know, you started to hear that it was like pretty much like they kind of like, they didn't kidnap him, but if, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, where they had those videos where they would take you, you know, you ain't woke, and then they grab you, and then they, you know what I'm saying? And then you back out there, you got your bean pie, the whole movement. You know what I'm saying? So good.
Bring that
Shout
back
to the brothers
somehow,
too.
yo.
The
Shout
FOI.
out to man, you know? Listen here, G.
Yeah.
I thank you for your time, bro. I ain't know we was gonna get it like this.
Oh,
like,
good,
I'm excited. I'm geeking.
Look, I'm in a place in my life whenever a mic is on, magic got to be created. Whether that's in an interview or in the studio, we making magic. You know what I mean?
Well, and you on Magic 102.1, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Love King, Raheem DeVaughn. The album Decade of a Love King is out now, streaming on all your platforms. Go check it out, my G.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you, G.
Yeah, appreciate you as well. Love life.
No doubt.